Everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energy. Sorry, I was just trying to get the light a little bit better there. Absolute pleasure to have you along. One thing that I just want to point out, first of all, check your registration, and I'll repeat that ad nauseum. You'll be so sick of me saying it. But what I want to have a look at in this particular reading is the UK race riots that are going on at the moment. What came to my attention as well, and I'll actually have a look at the Canadian elections either later this week or early next week. Pierre Poilievre has been outed, has been uncovered by decent journalism, investigative journalism, of utilising bot farms to spread disinformation in Canada on behalf of the far right movement there. I have seen time and again, I don't feel that Poilievre or Trudeau will be party leaders by the time Canada actually goes to the election. But I'll have another look in another week or so, or I may just, if the boys, if my guides Surishin is an honorary boy, I'll put it that way. The guides, if they tell me just to leave it for now until an actual election is called, we'll see how we go. But I want to have a look at the UK race rights. Now, I'm using my runic tarot. It is a dark deck. I do apologise. It is a dark subject. What has happened is that there was a young man, aged 17, born in Cardiff, so he is of the UK, two Rwandan parents, so there is some disenfranchising perhaps going on there with the young man himself. Who murdered, stabbed to death three young girls at a dance school, and multiple others ended up in hospital. What's happened is that they're immediately on Twitter and other social media sites, a vast amount of disinformation came forth saying that he was Muslim or he was of the Islam faith, that he had been a recent immigrant, illegal immigrant arrival, all of which was not true. The young man was born in the country. He had a Christian upbringing. It's just what's going on is horrific. But, we know the far right don't let the truth get in the way of a good lie. So I just want to see how this is going to play out for the UK. Australia itself, the government raised the terrorism threat level from possible to probable. What's happened is that in the last 6 months, I believe our ASIO and government departments, ASIO is our spy mob, whatever you call them, Australian secret intelligence, something or other, uncovered 4 terrorist plots and foiled them. But they have raised the threat from probable to possible, because and the information's coming out is it's the online recruitment and messaging to disenfranchise 17 to, I think it was 14 to 21-year-olds in Australia, which is the biggest threat. So getting in young for these young men who seem to fall into the sphere of supporting the likes of Andrew Tate, etc., for whatever reason not feeling accepted by society and going under the radar down these rabbit holes. So, this is very much about, as I split the deck, we've got the High Priestess, the feminine energy, the shift, and I do want to talk about that shift, and I was going to put it off till tomorrow, but I think I'll do a reading on it today. The shift and the fear of the shift from certain elements, but this is very much about the feminine energy exposing the unspoken and unacknowledged that's going on, and bringing forth the sword of truth, but remembering that the sword is double-edged. So it's not as simple as it might sound, just bringing forth the truth and expecting it to cut through. It is a double-edged sword. So I want to have a look now. What's happened is Keir Starmer, the new Prime Minister, he's only been Prime Minister for a couple of weeks. And I did say a long time ago, before the UK elections, that it would take a couple of years for the government to turn, pardon me, to turn the economy and the ship of the UK around. So give them time. Do not straight away spring into accusations of, oh, it's all Keir Starmer's fault. You've got the likes of Nigel Farage really stirring up this far right. He's just, oh my goodness, he's just a piece of work, that Nigel Farage. Goodness me. Now, I don't need to get my thyroid checked. I get my thyroid checked every year with my blood tests, etc. I just feel when I get the frog in the throat that someone is trying to stop an element from speaking out. I got it yesterday with the establishment with Kamala. I'm getting it now in regards to I'm getting that these youth, okay, thank you. What it is these young people. Now, when I split the deck, I'm going to explain it a little bit more. I've got the Ten of Swords, the swords of truth just plunging into the earth, bringing about an ending. But it just is, it's in a barren landscape. And the other one was the Five of Pentacles, which is very much left to their, to try and repair themselves, to tend to their own wounds, left to the cast out and having to fend for themselves. Those that are, I'm going to say, that are on the outskirts of society, that they feel like, the reason I'm getting this frog in my throat, okay, it is entertainment only, I'm being reminded to show you that. The reason I'm getting the frog in my throat is I'm really getting that these young men, and it is mainly young men, do not feel like they've been listened to, do not feel like they've been heard. And we need to listen to them. We need to, this is not about just rise of feminine and women taking over. No, it's not. It's about coming together as a community and as a society. And part of that is not an us and them. It's about listening to each other, not just hearing, but listening, really listening and understanding where elements of society are coming from. Because I'm really getting what's happened is these young men really feel like because they're not okay, thank you. Oh gosh, now I feel like bursting into tears. At the core, what I'm getting is at the core of their anger and their frustration, um, it's not racism. It's not anti-immigrant. It's That's just where people like Farage and Trump and Orban and all those and whoever else is behind the scenes manipulating these young men, that's where they've directed the anger towards. But that's not the core of their anger, is what I'm getting. That's just the external venting because they've been manipulated by these, I'm just going to say, elements that how do I put it? Are trying to, it's just ghastly energy. That's where they've been directed to express their anger and frustration. But that's not actually the real core of their um, angst. And what happens is we need to get down to the real internal of why they feel this. And it really comes down to very much that they don't feel that they've been heard. It's like that. Susan Lynn calls that, oh, sorry, I just got this most crinkle all over me when I said that, because Susan Lynn has said that it is these voters that are, I don't know what age in the US that you register to vote. I know in Australia it's 18, but it's that Generation Z voters, that 18 to 30 or 18 to 29 or whatever, that she calls them ghost voters because they've been ignored. Nobody has spoken to them. Nobody has listened to them to find out what is really important to them. And that's why the Kamala Harris campaign and platform has just absolutely taken off, because she understands these voters. And it's the same in the UK. It is this uh, range in youth where they feel they're not heard, not just listened to, but not being genuinely heard about what it is that is important to them and what they fear, and they feel misunderstood. And I'm going to hold these cards up. You've got these authority figures, moneyed authority figures, that are working behind the scenes but not for good. And they're the ones that are stirring this. I'm just going to say stirring this up. Okay. So it's not going to be simple. So what happens is first we need to restore some peace and calm. I have seen Starmer stepping aside, possibly within 6 months, and being replaced by a female. I think she'll bring incredible energy. I don't know who she is, but she will bring this uh, Harris type energy to the UK. But show me how these um, there she is. Yeah, this Harris type energy, bringing it to the UK. And it is very much about um, stealing away from the crusty old chewing the dead wood dragons of current politics. There's huge change coming for the UK as well. But I want to have a look, please, please, please. Show me, how will these, I'm going to call them race riots because that's what they are. How will these race riots play out? Will they calm down in the near future? Please, please, please. Keir Starmer has been at about 400 arrests. He's authorised a standing army of police, so not actually the army, but a set, oh goodness me, a set police force to deal with it. Yeah, okay, I'm going to go through these cards that flew out. That one wants to go there because these are really powerful cards. Yeah, okay, let's get started, because that's the next one there as well. And then we've got this one here, and we've got this one here, and we've got this one here, and this one here. Okay, and this one. Right, let's get started. The riots. Absolutely. The feeling not confined, feeling shackled, feeling just screaming out to be heard, screaming out to be heard. And that's what these riots are about. Very much so. Destruction that is wrought, but it's just this desperation to be heard, feeling like one is shackled, like one is, I'm going to say confined, but that's not the right word. It begins with a C, feeling like that they've been ignored, shut down. Yeah, there's some real pent up energy here that has just exploded forth. So the Five of Wands, if you think of the Rider-Waite deck, this is the infighting card with everybody hitting each other on the head. This is the riots themselves. This is about a judgment moment, an awakening moment, a I'm going to say a call to arms, but I'm not feeling it that on behalf of these. This is just a real wake up moment that is exposing what needs to be exposed, the undercurrent belly. So movement forward, movement forward. Look at these women on chariots here. But this is very much about um, exposing this pent up frustration, this pent up and an awakening to it, to the people rising up. There's more to it than that. It's like a battlefield here, but an Armageddon that is going to open the eyes. Right. So then we've got, however, there are some that will allow movement forward, but only if they're heard. But the next two cards I've got are these. There is this devil energy behind the scenes stirring it up through lies and disinformation because they want to set fire to uh, to stability, to set fire to. They don't care who they hurt. I'm just going to say they do not care who they hurt. For them, it is a win at any cost, and it is very much this devil energy that will find itself exposed and under investigation. Okay, I'm going to put those two cards there, is what I'm being told. So it's almost like we've got groupings going on here. Okay. It's like we've got groupings. So these are those that are behind it. They don't care who they hurt. They're pure. Their sole purpose is to spread disinformation, to set fire to everything and bring destruction. They don't care. Working from the shadows. It's not the people you see on the front line. This is very much working from shadow energy. But we've got here the investigation, so they might be outed. We've then got the sword of truth being brought forward by the youth to expose what is not being talked about, the bison in the room. Could also be a whistleblower exposing the hidden agendas of these people. So I'll just put those there. I'm getting a double entree with these two. The youth bringing forward what is not being talked about. Also powerful feminine energy here, which is about community and compassion. But the double entree is that it could also be, I put those there and I put those there, a whistleblower exposing the hidden agenda. But then we have temperance, a return to calm. We have Page of Wands, defiance of the youth. They want this message to be heard. It needs to be heard and it will be heard. And then we have a cleansing and a new beginning, a new start, cleansing there. So I just really feel that this is what's going on behind these riots at the moment, and it comes from this restricted I'm going to say restricted, I'm just going to say attitude in the UK, where it's almost like, I mean, I'm in Australia, we have a very different, we don't have class systems here, we have a different approach to bringing up our children. in that, yes, we're not best friends with our children, but we're more friends with our children than parents in this day and age. Those that are good parents, we do discipline when necessary, but we also listen to our children, and they have voices in our families. But I'm really getting this those that are in this energy are feeling like very much shut up and sit in the corner type thing. Type upbringing is what I'm getting. And they've had enough. They feel like they've just been ignored, not heard, told to shut up and sit in the corner, and in their upbringing. Okay, that's the that's the energies of all the different elements of it at the moment. So where do I go with this? Okay, I'm told to switch decks. I'm being told to switch to my Lightseers Tarot. I did wonder why I felt a need to bring this deck to the table today. I thought it was going to be in regards to something else, but no, they're wanting it for this. So, and as I split the deck, the lies, deceit, betrayal is going to be exposed, and then we can start healing. So this is not just about arresting people. This is really exposing those that are behind. I'm going to say the likes of, is it Piers Morgan? Just awful, awful commentators. So let's have a look. Show me the shift that will occur due to these riots that are going on. Show me the shift. Show me the energy of what will occur coming out of these riots that are going on. Show me the shift will occur, the energy shift. Come on down, let's have a look. Oh, hey! Knight of Cups. An offer being made, cards laid on the table, an offer to sit down and talk is what I'm getting there. I really hope someone in government takes a stance and say, let us talk. Because I think an offer there is going to be made, an emotional offer to try and learn what is behind this outbreak, or the youth themselves. Okay, yeah, King of Cups, Knight of Cups, King of Cups. The second signifier for this is the emotionally mature, stable, calm negotiator, diplomat. I mean, I know that sounds stodgy, old school. I really feel this is about, at an emotional level, sitting down with, I'm going to say the leaders, but I'm not quite sure how they would define who are the leaders of these, because the leaders are these devil energy groups that are behind it, the Farages, the Piers Morgans, the Bannons, and that sort of energy. I don't quite know who they're going to engage with, but this is incredibly calming energy here. Okay, going on behind the scenes. Yep, okay, the Magician. Okay, thank you. What I'm getting, so the energy behind the scenes, it can be the manipulator and the shapeshifter. So I am getting manipulation that has been going on. Manipulation of these young men who want to be able to create their own future. But at the moment, what's happening is they're just feeling like they are emotionally and spiritually being sucked dry down this bottomless, dark pit with this light at the bottom here. This light at the bottom says, if you just pour yourself into me endlessly, I will come to the surface and all will be fantastic. And it never does. It's a false promise. So very much feel like they've been pouring themselves endlessly down this black hole at the behest of this false promise that will never eventuate for them. They've literally been desiccated. It's about turning their attention to what can be, what magic they can bring to the table. So this is the energies behind the scenes. They've been manipulated into this false belief that they've been pouring themselves into. They want the ability to create their own future for themselves. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, emotional indecision means that they struggle to see their path forward. I'm going to say emotional manipulation. You've got in here the snake and a rat and a bat. I'm going to say emotional manipulation means that they get caught up in the smoke and mirrors and the confusion and they're unable to see their way forward. This is about healing. You need to step back and to bring healing. Healing with truth and honesty and wisdom and love. Crowning this reading, the karma hanging over. This is about, it is the independent female, but it's more than that. This is about trying a different approach. This is about reaching and grasping an opportunity that the country feels, or elements of the country feel, that they are intuitively drawn to. And it is not what is the current way of doing things, because it's obviously not working. It is not the one that makes the brightest false promises, or the one that is the lowest hanging fruit, the easiest, that seems the most obvious. No, this is about going deeper. A solution that the karma is to look at a different way, a way that feels spiritually, intuitively right, to bring peace. Because these youth feel like they're emotionally drowning. They can't claw their way to the surface. They feel like they're being ignored, that they're being held back, that they're being held under, that they are literally gasping for air, that they are drowning. Now, I am not excusing the actions that they are doing at all, but I'm just looking at the energies of it, because at the moment there is this segment of society that feels like they are suffocating, that they are drowning. They do not matter, that they have been discarded. Okay, the outcome, the Ten of Pentacles. This is about a coming together of family, of community. It is about legacy. It's about the ending of a cycle, but it's also about the handing over of the cycle from the crusty old to the invigorated new. So the outcome, it's a positive outcome, but it is about ending of a cycle. It is about walking away from what does not work, letting go emotionally of how it has been done in the past, that it does not work, towards a new beginning, a new start, a new horizon. It is about the youth feeling like they have opportunities, that they own their opportunities, that they have choices to dream big and to work hard to bring those opportunities to fruition. Oh, goodness me, this is powerful energy. And this is about being able to decide what they want their future to look like, to step into their authority and take the steps to bring it about. Very much they feel that they don't have this at the moment, but this is the path forward. And then we've got the new beginning where they can have faith and hope on their new journey. These are powerful cards. The alternative is to continue with the same old, that brings nothing but further despair. So look at these two cards, two options going into the future. They just want to be seen and heard. They want their message to be seen. They want to be understood. Now, I am not excusing what they are doing, but what has happened is they've got this pent-up frustration of what feels like lifetimes of being suppressed. And what's happened is a certain element has directed that towards what at their core they know is not right, but they don't know where else to take it. This is about giving and receiving help and healing, and it will then nurture and move forward. It is about partnership, equal partnership, back and forth, hearing, not just listening, about celebrating what they have to bring, about drawing them out from this darkness, this messaging that keeps them in that darkness, drawing them out to be able to express who they are in a way that is joyful for them. And the world card, because we are at an ending of a cycle and a new beginning. We have this option. The other alternative is to just continue with what we're already doing, which will bring nothing but despair. Wow, those are powerful cards, and I'm just going to say it is not going to be an easy solution. But I do feel that there is somebody or a group of somebodies who will step up, and instead of just locking them up and convicting and throwing away the key and just saying, how dare they, it's very much about listening to the grievances, but not the surface grievances, the deep grievances. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. That went somewhere completely different to where I thought it was going to be. But this is very much about my connecting directly with these young men. It's about separating these young men from this devil energy that is directing their internal frustration in a direction that these young men don't actually believe in at their core soul level, but they don't know where else to go with it. Because they've been made all these promises that they've fed into, but they're not bringing any fruition for them. There's a despair there. A despair that a certain element are disinformation to cause chaos and disruption, and there's a need to short circuit that. Now, I do not know the solution. I think it starts at the community level. It's going to take a lot of effort to break, and I'm just being told it's going to take a lot of money, but it's going to be money incredibly well spent. So I hope the UK government in some way hears this message, even if not from me, just from within themselves, because I do feel that there is someone who is going to step up. It's not Starmer, but there is somebody who is going to take lead on this. Okay, love to you all. Take care. We're in for a long road. Buckle up, pick your battles, and look after yourselves. Take care. Love to you all.